The downgrades of some of Europe's most high-profile sovereigns did not go far enough, and even US bonds should be rated junk status. That's according to our next guest. He says while most European debt should be rated CCC, it could be time to get back into the region's stocks. Well, joining us now is Mark Farber, editor and publisher of the Gloom, Boom and Doom Report. Nice to see you again, Mark. Let's get to some of your calls.
Yes, my pleasure.
You're talking about the fact that US bonds should be rated junk based on US liabilities. What are we standing at? Just over $15 trillion and 100% debt to GDP? I don't know. Why should that be junk?
Well, the $15 trillion is already higher than 15 trillion. But that aside, if we look at US government debt, it reached 1980, $1 trillion. And in year 2000, we were at $5 trillion. So between 2000 and 2011, we've grown 3 times, and the expansion of the debt will continue. And what the official statistics don't show you are the unfunded liabilities that are growing at a much faster rate than the official deficit. So if you add the unfunded liabilities to the existing 15 or 16 trillion dollars, you're up to say 50 trillion or maybe 100 trillion, we don't know precisely. And that at some point will become burdensome. The other vulnerability of all government debt is the day interest rates go up for whatever reason, the cost of financing will become very burdensome.
Mark, hello there. Sean Corrigan here. Nice to see you again.
Yes, hi.
I mean, I'm not going to take issue with the sustainability of fiscal policy in the United States by a long shot. But picking on the ratings agencies here is a little unfair, isn't it? Because what they're actually measuring is the ability of the US to service its outstanding debt. And given that it has an institution down the road called the Federal Reserve at its full control, there is no actual issue about paying you back the dollars that you are contracted to receive. Now, you and I both know that yes, if those dollars aren't worth anything, it's not great, but...
That is correct. You're absolutely right. They can print money, and this is one reason you have, say, on the 2 years Treasury note or 5 years, hardly any yield. People who buy these notes and instruments, they know that the purchasing power of money is going down, so they lose per annum, say, inflation adjusted, 3–5%, but they argue, I rather lose 3 or 5%, but get my capital back, then lose even more in other instruments. And that's why interest rates are artificially low in the United States and elsewhere as well, because the perception is that the ECB can print money, and certainly the Fed has proven again and again that they're the master at it.
Mark, there's another issue here, isn't there? And good morning, by the way, it's Jeff. Just to throw into the equation here,
yes, hi,
the duration of the debt. And in reality, what Italy's got 7 years by and large, Portugal a rather modest 5.7 years, the UK's much further out here. Does anybody seriously believe that we're going to be in the same place today in 5 to 7 years' time as we are at the moment? None of this debt needs to be immediately repaid this year, and the total refunding for this year is only, what, about 600 billion on top of last year, and we managed to refund just about everything last year. So are we excessively pessimistic about this?
Well, I've seen different figures than $600 billion to be refinanced this year in 2012. Figures that are far higher than that.
No, the point is in addition. We came into the year, I think, 7.6 trillion was the number that I saw. I assume that's a credible number, but we did 7 trillion in 2011. So another 600 billion between friends, with the ECB and the Fed and the Bank of England on the game. It's not going to be a problem, is it?
As far as we are concerned today, it's not going to be a problem. But who knows what the mood will be in 6 months' time. And you pointed out rightly, we don't know how the world will look in 5 years' time. And that's why I argue we need to be diversified. And also, I'm negative about the outlook for the world for the simple reason. If you analyze, why do we have a financial crisis?